Hey Bagel, can I get a Mario Galaxy movie
One Mario Galaxy movie.
and hold the Mario
Hold the Mario.
and hold the Rosalina?
Hold the Rosalina. Hey Jimmy, give me a Mario Galaxy movie with nothing.
None. Uh, yeah. What an interesting experience this was.
Yeah,
The
you
Super
could say that.
Mario Galaxy movie,
Bum, bum,
where
bum, bum, bum,
uh,
bum.
where a lot of criticisms are on its way, and it still gets $629 million. There you go.
Mhm.
Uh so yeah, I'm back here today. Welcome back to another Reviews Core podcast, episode 93. Uh I'm here today with Sty. What's up, man?
Good. How about you?
And yeah, I'm also here with Bagel again. How's it going?
Yeah, what up?
So yeah, you know, another Mario movie.
hmm Another day, another Mario movie.
Yeah, so yeah, the 2026 animated adventure comedy film based on the Mario video game franchise. After the 2023 success of that first movie, we got a sequel, and
And this is
somehow
also
it's
the sorry, this
yeah,
is
it's
also the celebration for the 40th anniversary of the series.
40th anniversary of Mario, and it was a very controversial opinion when the Illumination team decided to make Super Mario Galaxy as the the sequel to the first film, especially since there was a lot. I mean, not to say like there was like a lot of lore or like anything to work with or anything like that. I mean, I I get it from that perspective, but yeah, at the same time, I don't know if I would say the ending of Mario One was directly inspired by going up for a you know Mario
I mean, the
Galaxy
post
movie. So
credits
there's that.
teases Yoshi. Post credits scene teases
Y-
Yoshi. Makes made me
Yeah,
think Mario World, but that was not the case.
yeah. It's like Yoshi was in Mario Galaxy too, I guess.
That he was. That he was.
So is Rosalina, but we'll get to her in a second. Um, yeah, you know. So, I mean, basically, this one is a little bit different. You have Mario and Luigi together for the whole film, where they go on an adventure into outer space, where they're where they meet like Princess Rosalina, uh, but not really because you see the so Bowser Jr. is like the villain of the film, and you know, and Bowser was captured at the end of the first film, put in a mini mushroom uh, prison essentially. But there's a lot of things that happen off screen, like
Oh, yes.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened off screen, like Luigi's bonding with Bowser, pretty much everything to do with Bowser Jr. Um, I mean, I guess Mario is like a lot more confident and like capable and all that stuff. Fine, I guess. Um, but like honestly, like as we said in the intro, there's nothing. There's nothing. Where is that from?
Nothing.
I think it's Poe.
Kung
Kung Fu
Fu
Panda.
1, it's when Tai Lung opens the scroll.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's interesting is like, I think that the other funny thing that happened was like, like just 2 or 3 days before the movie drops, like they said like Star Fox is going to be in this movie with Glenn Powell voicing the character, which from Top Gun. So I get that, but it's like, what the fuck? The marketing putting Star Fox into the movie. That was the choice of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was the only thing about him, but before we get to that, yeah, so so this dropped on April 1st, so a lot of people were thinking there was like April Fools going on here or there, so it kind of makes sense.
Did make a fool out of me.
Sure did. Yeah. I'm sure this is probably going to set up a Smash movie. Just to.
Oh yeah, there's no way that's not happening now.
Yeah. And then I don't know what the hell. Paramount is so bad with their security. In terms of like protecting their animated projects. Like I don't know how the fuck do they like allow this to happen again. Like they've had two SpongeBob movies leaked. They had a whole SpongeBob game leaked from THQ, I think. And then I think it was like the Patrick game, if I'm not mistaken. And then this Avatar sequel movie also got leaked as well.
Good job, guys.
Paramount is the company of all time.
And now they're going to be buying Warner Brothers.
Yeah. So essentially, what we got. So Princess Rosalina is played by Brie Larson, and there was a lot of marketing for Brie Larson in particular because Nintendo super fan and so great, big fan of the characters, big fan of Mario for all her life. W.
And she's
And
probably
what's
very
interesting
excited
is
to be in
like the
this.
fact that like, yeah, and like and talking about Galaxy, Mario Galaxy, where Rosalina was introduced in like an integral character.
Mhm.
So imagine my shock where she's only in the film for like 4 minutes.
Yeah, what you see in the trailers is like
Almost everything.
80-90% of what you get with her in the movie.
Yeah, and the one thing that they decided to hide is we'll get to that. Oh man. So I don't think we had the podcast back when the first movie came out. But I mean we weren't really the biggest fans of the movie, so to speak. I think like with Mario 1, the main I think the main issues that I would say is like it wanted to do like a mix of like, oh, like this is a fictional world and we're from the real world kind of a thing. And then with like the Mushroom Kingdom, you go through these pipes and like it takes you into like an alternate universe kind of a thing. Which I mean, I guess that's one way to go about it. But then like outside of that, I mean, you have the basic thing of like Mario wants to save Luigi since he and him got like split up when they were transporting across the dimension, I guess. And then you got Bowser who wants Peach and her Peach. and then yeah, and then you know you got your typical story of like Mario is learning the ways of the Mushroom Kingdom as he goes to save his brother and all that stuff, and he comes across a few uh you know, others like Donkey Kong and such like that on his journey, and he slowly gets the confidence and all that stuff. So you know, I mean, it's not there's not really much to say, but you know, it's a kids movie at the end of the day. But at the same time, you know, there's still something.
It's a bare bones
There's
basic
still
hero's journey.
Yeah, there's still something that the character is going through. So this time around, there isn't really anything for most of the people. The only one that really gets something is technically Peach, but then you know, is that something worth it? I don't know, but again, we'll get to that. But yeah, so Princess Rosalina is the adoptive mother of the Lumas, and they're living on the Comet Observatory. You know, she's reading like a bedtime story to them about Peach and the Mushroom Kingdom and the Mario Brothers and all that stuff, you know, references. And you know,
Because I guess she's been keeping tabs on them.
yeah.
It's not really made clear how she knows all about them when she hasn't met them before.
Yeah, but
Well, for the case of Peach hasn't talked with her in a while. Let's just say.
Yeah. So then, you know, the Lumas are getting ready for bed, but like, you know, Rosalina hears a little noise outside, and then she goes outside, and there's Mega Legs.
I know that boss.
Yeah, so you know, Mega Legs is fighting Rosalina. Rosalina is cooking the fuck out of Mega Legs, and then suddenly since we got it, you know, do something. Aluma just decides to open the door, saying, "I can't sleep," and then that's literally the only way that Rosalina loses. It's a great control.
Just distract her for a minute, and then like grabs her.
Yeah,
like that happens. Because I guess they have like really, really good hearing that they hear the little door creak and the little voice come out of the Luma from like half a mile away.
Yeah, that and like, you know, the fact that the Lumas cannot hear a battle going on the whole time, I guess.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, they didn't hear all the loud explosions, except for that one, I guess.
But it came out for a different reason, like because it was tired, not because it.
Oh yeah. So I was tired and had a nightmare. Yeah,
I can't sleep. Yeah. And then it's kind of weird. Then like once the Luma like kind of, oh, shoot, and then it like closes the door. I guess like it doesn't warn the other Lumas that, oh no, Mother's under attack. And all that stuff. So that doesn't happen. Yeah. So you know, so Rosalina does like the whole like I gotta save my children, and then Mega Legs captures Rosalina, and then it turns out the person controlling the Mega Legs is none other than Bowser Jr., who is getting help from Kamek, and like you know, he has a plot to drain her power to create life to fuel a universe-destroying cannon in honor of his father Bowser, that was defeated by Mario and Luigi and shrunken by Princess Peach in the last movie. So that's how it opens. And you know, we got a few things. As I said, like I feel like, you know, Rosalina was wiping the floor with Mega Legs, and then all of a sudden it finds out that there are Lumas there. So I guess now I found the weak spot. And luckily, the Luma decided to open the door the second that she was about to win, just so that she can be captured. So now Rosalina, you know, one of the main characters of the first game is a damsel in distress.
Yeah, this is the direction they took. For some reason.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look on the screen. There's Rosalina right there.
Yeah, she's your guide throughout this whole game.
Oh, also these like star launching things and like all these star bit stuff and all that stuff. You know, that's like just like little things that happen in the movie called Mario Galaxy. They're barely
Yeah.
barely in the movie.
Barely a factor, if even.
There's only one launch star, and it was just for Peach and Toad. But we'll get to that. So here's the thing that I find interesting. You know, the last film kind of makes a big thing about Brooklyn, of all places. The fact that like it's kind of weird that Brooklyn just does not really return outside of like a montage for Yoshi. So it's just interesting. I guess Mario just doesn't. Mario and Luigi don't really care about their old home anymore. Well, you see, they got used to the Mushroom Kingdom zaniness, so I guess that's fine. So yeah, Mario and Luigi are inspecting a disturbance on Tostarena Town from Mario Odyssey,
Mhm.
where they were told by the locals that there is a strange noise coming from the pipes. There, they go inside. They use their firepower flower, and you know, Luigi's scared. Mario's assuring. They hear the sound. They see Yoshi is the one causing the sound in the thing, and Yoshi is a good boy. So no threat at all. And instantly becomes best friends with Mario and Luigi. It's okay. It's all right. My thing that was like kind of disappointing on that aspect is like, well, one, like, so Donald Glover is voicing Yoshi. He requested Chris Pratt, like, I want to play Yoshi, and then they got him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so obviously they were probably looking for a big name anyway, and Donald Glover's a big name.
Yeah.
That too. But yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff was like a little bit like could have been more interesting as like a story of like Mario and Luigi bonding with Yoshi. I know Yoshi usually tends to be like the companion like right away, so it makes sense, like the friendliness of him, like as an instant, like it's kind of honestly it's kind of charming at the same time where Yoshi's like already like the third brother. But like at the same time, it's like I think that could have also served pretty well for like if they went with the Mario World format, like people were thinking. So there's that. And then yeah, so they befriend Yoshi. So Yoshi, and there's like a I guess there was a funny moment where Yoshi's thinking about, yeah, it's the best movie ever. Yeah, so there was like a funny moment where Mario asks Yoshi like, where'd you come from? And then Yoshi's thinking like about like the time where his egg hatched in Brooklyn and he was just walking across and then causing a disturbance where the police chase after him and he jumped into the pipes, and then he's hugging the brothers and it's like the brothers couldn't see what he was thinking at all. So it's like, I guess we'll never know.
And we got a Notorious B.I.G. playing during the scene, which I think this is the only piece of licensed music in this movie.
Yeah,
So because the first one, had a bunch of its score replaced by licensed songs, which very much irritated me. So I guess it's
Yeah.
one thing that this movie has over the first. But they do
Probably
something
something
else with the music that I'm not a fan of. That maybe there'll be a time to talk about later.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it was also kind of funny because like he broke a dinosaur skeleton, the dinosaur. So there you go. So on the way back to the Mushroom Kingdom, you got Yoshi, Mario, and Luigi. They actually go to an. Oh wait, they have the apartment scene, I think, where Mario wants to give
They're
a
getting
gift
ready
to
for
Peach, and
Peach's
then
birthday.
Peach's birthday, and Luigi and Yoshi are making
It's not
fun
not
of
the
him.
Star Festival, which I thought it was going to be from the trailers when there's the big party. But oh well.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so he got her a present. They're making fun of him because he has a crush on Peach. Uh-huh. And then they go to the
Did you
Mushroom
get the memo
Kingdom.
from
Toad
Nintendo
is a
that they're
little
just friends?
what's up?
I said, yeah, Martin. I guess Martin get the official memo from Nintendo that said they're just friends.
Hmm. All right. Forgot about that. Yeah. So they go ahead and they have like a Toad interacts with Yoshi is like, great. Who said this guy could be in the team or whatever? It's kind of interesting though, because like I know it's like a really basic thing of like you didn't really like him and then you like him all of a sudden. And it's like it doesn't really do that either. Like it doesn't really have that kind of moment really. I guess you can argue like when the baby stuff happened, but even then it's like barely there. So I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, there's nothing really that's done with Toad's jealousy outside of like two jokes.
Racism is the joke.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, so Mario goes to
Just taking her
Peach.
chops.
They're taking our they burned our crops.
Delivered a plague into our houses.
He did?
No, but we're just going to wait around until he does.
I say we tip something over. Yeah. Yeah,
Listen.
so Mario and Peach are Peach is like separated from the whole town that's celebrating her birthday. Mario asks like why is she not there? He's like I don't like celebrating my birthday because I don't know what my birthday actually is. Because this is actually just the day when the Toads found me. And all that. And then, Mario's like, well, I guess you don't want your birthday present. And then he gives her the present, which is the parasol.
The parasol. I know what that is.
Yeah. Oh, it's a nice moment, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. So suddenly there's like a lot of like star bits like falling from the sky.
Yeah.
Really well animated. Very colorful. I mean, that's pretty much like the only reason they went with Galaxy from what I read in the production notes is like, oh, Galaxy, it's got a nice story, but like if we really wanted for the colors and the stuff like that, it'd be cool to animate, I guess.
Great.
Yeah, so so the Luma decides to go all by itself to the Mushroom Kingdom to warn Mario and Luigi about Princess Rosalina has been captured. And that's kind of the weird thing that I'm kind of confused on because like, oh, I missed the part where like the scene where like Rosalina is taken to Bowser Jr.'s base, and instantly Rosalina breaks out of her chains and uses her magic wand to break the Luma's chain and tells the Luma to go off on its own and find help or something. So I mean, I get that Rosalina like sacrificing herself, but like the fact that how easy it was for her to escape out of the bond, like she could have escaped at any point, is one thing. And then like it seems like her magic is like she can summon her wand anytime, because they show her dropping it here and there in different parts of the fight, but like she can like respawn it into her hand, no problem. So I don't know, just
They don't.
just don't think about it. But yeah, then the Luma goes all the way to the Mushroom Kingdom, which I'm just wondering at that point, why not bring the entire cosmic comet observatory Lumas to the Mushroom Kingdom together instead of just the one? But there you go. Yeah, so the Luma is telling Peach like you need to save Rosalina, gives her the sad eyes, and Peach immediately decides to go and rescue Rosalina. Which the other toads are like, you can't do that because then you're abandoning the kingdom. And then she leaves anyway. She leaves a letter in the lieu of like Mario 64, but instead of like, Dear Mario and all that stuff, it's Dear Mustache. And basically, he should take care of the castle while she's gone. So it's kind of weird. I get it. Peach is like headstrong, so that's why she's going out and all that stuff. But like, I didn't take a second notice, and then you're going up against like an army with just two individuals. But then again, Peach can take care of herself pretty well.
Yeah, well, we'll find out the reason why.
Yeah, so in Peach and Toad's absence, Mario and Luigi and Yoshi, they step up to protect the Mushroom Kingdom. I thought it was a kind of nice moment of how they decided to use the Mario World map.
Mm-hmm.
It's either the Mario World or Mario 3. Or it could be both. I'm not sure.
It's like the general like style of
so it's like
world map.
Yeah, so it has like different blips of like there's a problem going on, and then like it replaces with a Mario flag. So yeah, that whole concept is there. So I thought that was kind of a nice moment. Reference wise, you got Luigi in the frog suit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of references.
Constant references.
Yeah. And then they also had they also talked to little Bowser, who's a painter. He's been rehabilitated. He hates Mario still, but like, he's bros with Yoshi, with Luigi. It's kind of interesting that like, the fact that like Bowser needs to be hit to gain his size again. So I guess he can't hurt himself to make him big again, which by the way, the mini mushroom never works that way. If you're hit, it kills you.
You're supposed to die when you're hit by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first movie didn't follow that rule either, so I guess this is being consistent.
Yeah, so
that's a good point. Yeah, what if Bowser's like bashed his head against the wall? I guess he'd grow.
Yeah. So, Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi, they do get pretty tired, and all that. But suddenly, Bowser Jr. comes in, and he is fighting Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi. He has the paintbrush.
And he uses the UFO to raise the castle up, like in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has the paintbrush Sunshine, and then he also turns into Wonder Bowser Jr. So yes, more references.
Another thing, like, why can't they just adapt Sunshine?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
So
yeah. There's no thing of Bowser Jr. thinking Peach is his mom in this.
yeah. Yeah, so Bowser Jr. lifts up Peach's castle into space. The Marios, because Luigi Mario.
Yep.
Um,
Mario and Luigi.
Mario, Luigi Mario. And Yoshi, they're helping all the Toads get out of the castle, so that it's just them in the castle alone with Bowser. So yeah, they have a fight. Bowser Jr. is not really happy with his father being in prison and all that stuff. But during the battle, something happens that causes the castle to just fall from the sky.
That's because they don't they knock like Kamek out of the controls? So like
Yeah, because like Yoshi like eats Kamek and turns him into an egg.
Mhm.
Funny. And then then when after the castle drops, Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Bowser are fine. They fall out of the building just in time to so they can run away from the falling and toppling castle
Mhm.
and all that. So
Bowser goes into a shell to protect himself, but again, wouldn't he want to get hurt to be big? But
yeah.
don't think about it.
Yeah, no, that was just funny. Yeah, so apparently the castle dropped into the Honey Hive Galaxy, as you do.
Yeah, which confused me. I thought they just landed straight back on the Mushroom Planet, but I guess during that time they traveled far enough away from
to another planet,
to another planet.
or another galaxy. I don't know how Mario Galaxy works.
I don't know how it works in this movie.
Yeah, so during this time, Bowser is goading Mario into attacking him. Where Luigi's kind of like, I think you should trust Bowser because, he says he's reformed. Okay. No. And but then Bowser says Mario's like a worthless nothing loser plumber. And then that's what gets Mario to throw him onto the ground and stomp on him. And all that stuff. And then Bowser grows back to normal size. Again, it's not how it works in the game, but whatever. It's already what they did in the first movie. And Bowser, instead of striking at Mario, he gives him a big kiss. You're not going to regret this, bisexual Bowser.
So yeah, looks like he has changed. I wonder where this goes.
I know this is probably not a reference at all, and I just think it was just to be funny. But do you think the Mario 64 gay Bowser is a factor? Okay. Okay.
It's a reference to the Japanese version of the game where he says bye bye instead.
Of course. If anything, it could be a reference. This part. Sorry. Oh my god. Sorry. There's a part in Mario RPG where there's a mini game where you could get Peach to give Mario a kiss, but if you fail, it's Bowser who gives the kiss. So there you go. That part is game accurate.
Oh. Yeah. So. Yeah. So afterwards, they're sent to the Honey Queen, the Honeybee, which is which is the funny part is they cast Issa Rae as her, pretty big name, and she only says 2 lines in the entire movie. So it's what the fuck was the point of this?
The point was so we can say it's the Queen Bee from the game. I know who that is.
Yeah. Bowser in has it so that instead of like getting Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi arrested, he accepts his imprisonment so that they can go and save Peach and all that. So he truly is
It's a
reformed.
really noble sacrifice for him. I guess he really has changed.
Yeah, it's almost like a film is missing. Yeah, so he kindly offers to be arrested for damaging the fields in exchange for the brothers and Yoshi getting transported to the Gateway Galaxy, where they're heading. And then while working, Bowser gets abducted by his son, whom he had not.
There for like 10 seconds, and like in the
prior to this, like Mario was talking to Bowser about like how your son was trying to kill us, and it's like, I haven't seen my son in years. Oh, maybe that's why you're a bad father or something. I don't know. So you have like Bowser kind of like thinking about that. But yeah, Bowser Jr. gets his father out of imprisonment like immediately. Like, yes. There's no time at all.
It's really 10. He talks to two bees in the worker camp person.
He was yearning for the mines.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's why they filmed that. Or they animated that, to be honest.
That may very well be the case.
Yeah, so and then he was starting to sing a song, and then he gets captured by his son, who he had not seen in years. There's a few things that Bowser Jr. does talk to Bowser about, like how, well, one is like he hasn't seen his son in years. It's like, but like his son has no resentment for his father. Like he's not, I don't hate you for anything, or like I don't hate you for sending me to boarding school or anything like that. Like, and it's like, you had like this vision, this dream that we had together, and I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. He had like an entire puppet show about like how the two of them will create a planet for the two of them, and they'll rule the universe essentially, but they'll also kidnap the Princess Rosalina, which I guess they knew Princess Rosalina. Yeah, however long ago this was.
However long
everybody just knows each other.
Sure, whatever. I don't know, man.
And they'll harness her power so that can make up that super weapon. And it turns out Bowser Jr. during this whole time without his dad, he's built this entire planet all by himself, and the roller coaster amusement park for the minions as well. And yeah, he did everything, and including building the universe level destroying cannon as well. And he captured Rosalina as well. So Bowser Jr. is that G.
Guess this.
So meanwhile, while this is going on, I know it sounds like we went through a lot, but the movie goes pretty quick. So
yeah,
it's 90 minutes, but like that doesn't mean much is really happening.
That's as Miyamoto said it would. The movie just keeps going by. You don't get a second to catch your breath.
Go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So meanwhile, in Gateway Galaxy, Toad and Peach are going by. Suddenly, a monkey, Ukiki.
The monkey from Mario 64. He steals your hat.
The monkey. The fist. The monkey ball. The
monkey's fist. The monkey.
Yeah. It was pretending to be sad and lost and scared, and then Toad gives it a hug, and then steals the backpack. Right. I like the part where they reference Toad is going to be Captain Toad, and he's just not. That's just a reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then basically, it's just kind of like a one-way chase of like trying to find, you know,
Trying to chase down the monkey.
chasing the
Which,
monkey who's going into like the underworld essentially, and yeah, they do that, and
This
then
part reminded me of the live action Mario movie when they go through a wall into a whole underground city.
I'm sure that was a reference to that.
Maybe.
Yeah. So they go there, and then Peach and Toad they find Ukiki, who is actually there. He sends the bag to Wart.
Yeah. Or from Mario 2. What a
Mario,
deep cut.
the American version, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. The voice is not what I would have imagined, but I guess I don't know what I would imagine at the same time. Yeah, but Wart's there, Birdo is there.
Yeah, Mouser and Claw Grub, all the Mario 2 bosses are there.
Yeah. So Peach meets Wart, the casino's owner, and she's demanding Wart because I guess she knows his name.
He just happens to say like, "Oh, what's with you princesses and getting captured or something?"
So you know who Rosalina is? I didn't say that.
I guess he does for some reason.
Yeah, so he tells her to leave, and like she's like, no. So then, all right, then here comes my ninjas. I swear that's what they're called.
Yeah, little star guys or kind of starship guys.
I'm not repeating my joke. Then it would be too obvious. Yeah. So all the ninjas are attacking Peach, but like Peach is like wiping the floor with him. Which now here's my thing about that part because I've seen this clip being used a lot in terms of like, oh, she goes through she doesn't suffer at all or anything like that, or she's like incapable of like getting beat in any capacity and all that stuff. But to be fair, I mean, like they kind of say that Peach has been doing this her whole life, so that's one thing. But like the other thing is like ninjas are not
another reason they say there.
Ninjas are not like that like crazy in terms of opponents either. So I don't know if like I mean she could be overwhelmed. I could see that. But yeah, I don't know about like and then Birdo's like shooting eggs, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
That only shot that was in the trailer. Birdo, that's all Birdo's in the film.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, Peach pretty much beats all of them, and then tells Wart, "Tell me where Rosalina is." Oh well, you see, actually, this entire thing, we kind of skipped over this, but when they get to Gateway City, or Gateway Galaxy, this is really annoying because I'm thinking
it's supposed to be Gateway Galaxy, but it's.
I think of Gateway City because of Wonder Woman. And I was just talking about Wonder Woman earlier today. So yeah, okay. So she goes there and like she finds like a MIA poster of Rosalina, and nothing like prompts it or anything like that. But like she looks at the picture and she sees a flashback of like young like baby Peach and teenage Rosalina or something like that. So it's weird because like in these kinds of moments, like you feel like the character should not know something or they need to learn something because this is a character that we're familiar with like Peach at the very least. So it's kind of weird that like Peach on the whim is like looking at a MIA poster and she's the one who's connecting that Rosalina is her sister. Now I'm going to get to that more later about the other problem, but we'll get to that. But that's just the thing that was kind of weird to me. Is like, it's just weird that like they did the sister reveal of Peach and Rosalina are sisters, but then it's not really rooted in anything, or like it's not like a discover anything. It's just something to shock the audience, really, because well, the audience did not expect that for obvious reasons.
Yeah, because it's a completely different backstory than the game, than the classic storybook, where it's a lot of people's like
Yeah.
maybe their favorite part of the
So that's
game.
like that was just kind of like the weird. Yeah. Yeah. So like that was just like what made it kind of weird. It's like, you know, like when you have these kinds of moments, like this is like something that like you kind of learn with the character, like the audience lives with the character, but like here was the case of like where the reveal just happens just to shock the audience, pretty much. Not intentional. I mean, I'm sure it was intentional in some capacity, but like it was just kind of weird for that. But yeah, so that's kind of why Peach is like kind of more you know, motivated into like saving Rosalina. Which wasn't very clear at the beginning, but like I am also kind of confused, like does she know Rosalina's name when the Luma was talking about Rosalina, or did it take like a picture of Rosalina for her to reconnect that this is my sister?
That's what looked like to me. That when she saw the picture, she realized.
Yeah,
because the Luma says Princess Rosalina to her, I believe, and there's no no flashbacks yet.
Yeah. But yeah, so she pins Wart down, and then
that's why she's more powerful here, because she's also a magic star child.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then so you know, Wart's not giving in. So then she tells Toad to give her a mushroom. She takes the mushroom. Now she's Giant Peach, and steps on Wart.
Sort of in
And then he reveals like, yeah, I know where she is, and all that stuff. And then they leave, and then Wart tells Birdo, give me Bowser Jr. the contact. So yeah, all the characters just know each other.
Yeah.
It's also interesting that Birdo. I know Birdo was technically a villain in Mario 2, right?
Yes.
She's
one of the bosses.
No redemption, but that's okay, I guess. Maybe they just forgot.
Or didn't care.
That's true. Yeah, so he found that, so he tells her that Rosalina's in the space junk galaxy. But then he learns the Bowser's about Peach. Meanwhile, you know, there's like a few more references that goes on. Peach is trying to get out of the place so she can get to there. They have to go and ask the receptionist about where to go. And the receptionist is Rob.
It's Rob. I know Rob.
And you know, you got the it's over here.
The classic slow Rob joke.
Slow Rob jokes, yeah. You know, the funny one is like when the thumbnail of the Mario one and what the title of that video is called. One of the videos that was on YouTube.
Oh, when I know the one.
I'm not saying it. I don't want to get
to
it. But yeah, so luckily Peach and Toad they find they're trying to ask people for like who can take us to the space junk galaxy, which a lot of them are either
after a cameo from the Pikmin.
after the cameo of the Pikmin. They also got their own character poster as well, even though that's all they were in the movie
They're
for.
there for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, so so they go ahead and it's like, then you got your Han Solo. I could take you. No, they got your David Hasselhoff. I could take you there.
Mhm.
And then it's Fox McCloud.
Yeah. He's
You know,
gonna
it's
have a bigger role than Rosalina in the Mario Galaxy movie.
yeah. So right at this point, we're like in the third act of the film. So I thought this was an interesting way they decided to explain why Fox was here. But then I'm kind of questioning, what about the Pikmin? But
I guess they're also from another universe.
I don't know though. Yeah, so because then
I don't know
because then
either.
we see what Luigi paints, right? Another character, Smash character.
Right, yes.
So I'm a little confused as to like everybody else. But like before that, um, so I mean the interesting thing they decided to do is they did explain how Fox ended up here. His spaceship crash lands into. Oh wait, no, that's not it.
He got sent like it was out of his hands. Was it during a fight? Because like it ended up. He said it ended up going through a warp drive
wormhole,
to another universe. Wormhole to another universe, and that's how he
Yeah.
ended up here.
Yeah, he was talking about his buddies, like Falco.
And they have a really nice animated sequence. Like it looks more 2D than
It's like
the rest of-
hand drawn, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it actually is hand drawn or if it just looks like that, but yeah, it's a very different style to the rest of the film. It does look very nice, and they play the
Yeah.
theme.
Do a barrel roll. Barrel roll.
Yeah, and of course they say that.
I'll say it a few more times.
They will.
Yeah, so and then luckily Mario, Luigi and Yoshi, they all make it to Gateway in time, and just they also do that Rob joke again.
Mhm.
And then yeah, luckily Peach hasn't left yet, so they're all the gang's all here.
They all meet up at the perfect time. Very cool. Very nice.
Yeah, so yeah, Fox is like so cool, bro. He's like so cool.
Yeah, they have like this like 1 second of a thing like if there's going to be rivalry between him and Mario, but no, I don't know what the point of that was.
Nice mustache, dude.
Yeah, I guess it's a fun subversion or whatever.
Yeah. I like the voice too. I think Glenn did good for the voice for Fox. It's just that it's kind of weird. Like, Fox is the guy. Like he's actually the guy. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they needed a spaceship. Instead of like, I don't know, Cappy or like the ship from Mario Odyssey. What was that called?
Or what? Or they could. What if they had the Mario
Cosmo.
Galaxy 2 face ship?
Yeah. The Comet Observatory, which is in the movie.
Yeah, that's there. They'll come back.
Yeah, yeah, so yeah, they're all on the ship. Everybody's talking about how cool Fox is. That barrel roll. And all that stuff. Do a barrel roll. Yeah, so they go up into space and they have a thing, and I guess Luigi talks to Mario a little bit about like, oh, you should, like, what if Peach doesn't like me and all this stuff. And it's interesting. Like they do all that and they still don't do anything with that anyway. So I don't know what the point of it. That's just kind of the interesting thing about the film. It's like it just kind of does things.
Yes, it does.
And then like doesn't really make for any content really. So
they don't really follow through on a lot of things. It's all
Yeah.
just things happen because they happen, and then we move on and forget
So
about it.
here's the next thing that happens. So they go up into space, and they suddenly get attacked by the Bowsers. And Bowser, at this point, is like, the Mario Bros are not that bad. They're kind of cool guys. Yeah, but I mean, they shrunk you. They humiliated you. Yeah, I know, but things change. So, I mean, Bowser Jr. was being respectful of his dad, but it's like, okay, I won't kill them, but I will do something else to them. So he goes outside and he shoots a gun, and it turns
The Super Scope.
a super scope. I didn't catch that reference. Oh, the Nintendo Super Scope.
Yep.
Of course. Honestly, Nintendo has like a lot of those things like that could actually kind of work for props, like the glove.
No, the Power Glove. Yeah,
The
I
Power
love the
Glove,
Power
yeah.
Glove. It's so bad.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll put it in one of their movies.
Yeah, maybe the third one.
Yeah. So Bowser's expressing a little bit of regret. The Super Scope turns them into Baby Mario, and Baby Luigi. And then they're falling from the sky. They crash land onto a
Fall right out of the sky.
drop the load. Pause. Yeah, so they fall into like a dinosaur planet. And, and then you got like a 5 to 7 minute like shenanigans, because that's all it is. Of like
Yeah.
the babies being babies, Toad and Ryoshi trying to control the babies. Peach is upset that everything's going wrong. Star Fox is crying because the ship was exploded. And yeah, they're just like going. They've come across like a T-Rex. Where
the T-Rex
Yoshi's
Odyssey.
from Odyssey. The amount of Odyssey references versus the amount of Galaxy references is kind of weird, but we'll leave it at
Fair.
that. Yeah, so yeah, Yoshi's trying to get the Super Scope so that he can turn the babies back into adults. There's like the little bit of thing where Toad is like trying to keep the babies quiet and stop bothering the T-Rex, but then Yoshi falls down, just like, yeah. Not like that noise though, not like Link. Yeah. Yeah, and then the T-Rex wakes up, and that moment from the trailer, like Yoshi's like trying to do his roar is like nothing, and then like the T-Rex roars back like an actual T-Rex, and then they all run. They all sit on Yoshi's back. So like you got your Yoshi's Island reference. And then suddenly Toad gets turned into a baby.
Sequence, probably.
Yeah. Toad gets turned into a baby too.
Yeah, they misfire the gun.
Misfire the gun. Then everybody falls into the water. And then the T-Rex is there, and then they eventually turn the T-Rex into a baby too, and then turn the babies back into adults, and there you go.
Great.
It's a great use of 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
7 minutes.
Yoshi finds the Super Scope, rescues the okay. Then Luigi alerts the Lumas to pick them up from the Comet Observatory.
He goes on the radio. He does like a trucker impression. I guess he's just fooling around with it, but luckily the Lumas pick it up in the Comet Observatory.
Yeah,
it's the same like the suicidal Luma from the first one who hears it.
Honestly, you could have just done Captain Falcon at that point.
Yeah. Why not at this point?
I'm sure he's in the next one.
Yeah.
You see, like the reasoning for Star Fox is like, well, you see, Star Fox is going to get a new game. I think next year or something like that is what they said.
it was leaked for this year if it happens.
Yeah, so that's why Star Fox was in this movie to be a soft promotion for the next game, which is kind of interesting,
Cool.
because this is the 40th anniversary of Mario. You'd think that they might want to put a game for Mario with that, but
No.
to be fair,
celebration.
To be fair, Sonic has its 35th anniversary, and there's no news for that either. For a Sonic game,
Mhm.
but yeah. So Luigi's just doing like a trucker impression of, "Hey, if anybody's out there, give us a ride." And I guess the Lumas hear this, and all that stuff. So they go and pick him up, and then they're picked up, and then Peach goes into the castle, and then she sees in the library that Rosalina truly is her sister, even though we kind of already knew this. And then we learn not only that they are long lost sisters, they were born from stardust, like the Lumas, which is interesting. And then it turns out Rosalina sent infant Peach to the Mushroom Kingdom to protect her from an unidentified attacker, which remains to be unidentified.
Yeah. So just some bad purple stuff was coming.
That thing's purple.
Purple is my favorite
This-
color.
Your patties turn my face purple. Yeah.
And look at our tongues.
What's wrong with yours?
It really clicks the lights off. It glows in the dark.
You oweth crap. All 3,953 of us. Yeah. Yeah, so that was the thing. Well, okay. I guess we can kind of talk about it since this is kind of like where it's kind of important. Yeah, so they revealed that Rosalina and Peach are sisters, which is like, a lot of people say that, well, I mean, when they showed Rosalina's mother, she kind of technically looked like Peach in the face. But
Facing the hair a bit.
yeah, and nobody fucking cares.
Mm-hmm.
Because well, one, they're not even the same shade of blonde, for starters, and two, just
Well,
because
plus
they're
the,
two blonde humans, that doesn't mean they have to be sisters.
There was the classic game theory that Peach was Rosalina's mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so let's. I guess that's not what happened, but
Nope.
listen, man. I mean, see, if Game of Thrones could do brothers and sisters, why can't sisters just do something? But if we're being serious, it is actually kind of interesting, like how this has happened twice in the same week, where like somehow like 2 nickels and all that, where you have like a ship, which to be fair, ships happen all the time, including like gay and lesbian ships. They happen all the time. But anyway, you have one of those, and then it's suddenly like you have surprise, we're sisters, kind of a thing. You'd be surprised how that kind of happens.
Yeah. And there was a one show, I don't remember the name, but yeah, you shouldn't there's that. And then
Exo Kitty, where like you have a character who's literally named Yuri, by the way. And then she had like there was like a big interest of having her with the main character of the show, and then it's like surprise they're cousins, because apparently they're brother and sister or something like that. They decided to get married before they did. So, okay.
And there was also the Street Fighter controversy where a couple was revealed to be related.
Yeah, well, that's a boy and a girl, so that's a little different.
And it's still like it keeps happening.
It just keeps
ships become incest.
Incest is wincest. Yeah, so that's the thing. But it is interesting though, because like honestly, the thing is, Peach is the only one that kind of gets something in this entire movie, and that something is only really like the sister reveal. Because outside of that, I mean, every other character is just kind of like just here for the ride. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I mean, Bowser is kind of getting something too, but a lot of his things came from off screen, or the fact that like, I mean, I guess he's just having a swell time. Bonding with the son and all that. His eventual, like, his willingness to stand up for his son and all that stuff, so that he'll go up against Mario again, even though they try to make things cool and things like that. I mean, I guess there's that, but
They had there could have been something there, but so they just half-assed it.
yeah. So Star Fox, Toad, and the Lumas, they decided to pilot the Comet Observatory, to send the other four to the newly made planet Bowser. And this is where we finally get our, that shot from Mario Galaxy. The Comet Observatory, Yoshi flying in the air with Mario on his back. Yeah, that's your first thing like that. I mean, you had like Peach and Toad like jumping around on launch stars here and there, like the game, but then that's about it. But yeah, here we go. The Mario Galaxy stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's go to this planet, and now let's go do all that Bowser Castle kind of iconography. Mario and Peach, they split up, they confront Bowser.
And if anything, they're like Bowser's base in this is more reminiscent of like World Bowser from 3D World.
Yeah.
Doesn't really resemble the Galaxy one. Oh well.
You have unleashed my fury.
I get it.
Yeah, so they're fighting on a bridge, something that you see in Bowser fights. You even see like you see Bowser Jr. like doing like a lot of he's trying to set up traps for Mario and Peach, and like it's pretty much it's pixelated like the original games.
Yeah.
Where he's setting all the like Mario Maker.
Yeah,
prepare to meet your maker.
Mm-hmm. And he's putting all the things and all the fire bars and all.
Fire. Yeah. When people spam those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you got that. And then you got Mario jumping over Bowser, and then like he cuts the thing so that it sends Bowser into the lava.
It killed him.
Thinking to kill him. Bowser Jr. is sad, all that stuff, and then it turns out Bowser survived, and now he's now Dry Bowser.
Is Dry Bowser?
Yeah. So meanwhile, Luigi and now Dry Bowser versus Bowser Jr. are together. They're kind of wiping the floor, and then Luigi and Yoshi come in to help. Where they have some power ups. Yoshi gets Balloon Yoshi, which does absolutely nothing.
Yeah, funny joke, I guess.
And then
Luigi gets Cloud Luigi, which that wouldn't be my first guess to use as like an attack power up, but I guess he does some things with it. So what do I know?
Yeah,
that's a Galaxy reference.
Mario was the drill.
Mm-hmm.
Another Galaxy one, I think.
The drill from that specific one. It's when he looks like that with the drill head. That's from Odyssey. Wonder.
Okay, but I thought he had a drill in.
He does. Yes, he has like a He has like a drill thing that he can pick up, but like that specific form of drill Mario where it looks like
on his head. Okay.
Yeah. That specific thing.
Take that cone off your head. There's always a SpongeBob reference somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so they fight and they got the power ups, and then they so Peach goes
I
off.
guess this
so
is
that
a.
Mhm.
Sorry, I think I'd like to take a bit now to talk about the music of this because they play Gusty Garden for 5 seconds, and yeah, I just remember just being so irritated because that's what they do. Like they play the game music for like just a few seconds at a time, and then just switching back to a generic score. Just every time it happened, I just got so frustrated,
Mm.
and because it's it's like all of it's great, but instead of like letting it play out, and be properly utilized, it's just in there so we can go, oh, I know that before it moves right on to the next thing. It's just like all the visual references. It's there for a bit so you can point at it and then bye bye. And it's like, no, stop, go back. I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, so Peach is going after Rosalina, and then she's able to do it all. They do like the thing where apparently when they touch hands, they can cause an explosion because they're the strongest beings in the universe and all that stuff. I guess I don't know. So the power of sister it gets her out of the bubble.
Which I guess Bowser didn't know that. He knew that Rosalina was
The most powerful thing, but I guess Peach
I
is.
guess not Peach. Is it supposed to be because since Rosalina sent Baby Peach away that she wasn't known to others?
And then it's like,
I guess.
why couldn't Rosalina go with her? Why do they have to split up?
They had to be separated to protect them, even though you sent a baby off to parts unknown, who knows what could have happened.
Yeah. That's also kind of annoying too, because like Peach and Mario were like kind of relating to each other because they both were not from the Mushroom Kingdom. So it was just the assumption that she might be human. Leave her to not be human, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess she doesn't have like the magic wand coming out of her hand power. So I don't know. I would lean towards like it's pretty evident that they didn't plan for this to happen.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah. So yeah, Peach revives the Rosalina. They transform Planet Bowser into a beautiful world with their power, which isn't that a Galaxy reference?
I guess kinda when when they wake up in a new galaxy at the end, like when the universe gets reset. I thought like the whole planet was turning green and all. It's a round planet. This is another thing I thought it was going to become the face ship from Galaxy 2, but no.
Yeah. Ironically, this reminds me of Moana.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the world gets healed.
No, that's gonna get a live action movie. So there you go.
Oh, my mic has been off. Oh, sorry.
It's been off. Were you trying to talk this whole time? I didn't really caught that.
It's no big deal. Let me proceed.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty much done. Yeah. So, Planet Bowser is now a beautiful world. Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi they go back to the Mushroom Kingdom. What happened to the castle? I don't know. It died. Yeah, so let's rebuild it. And then they rebuild it. Yeah, Peach kisses Mario. Peach kisses Mario as a thanks, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your credit scene. Fox sends the Bowsers to prison before heading home to his galaxy. I guess he could just do that.
Yeah, he says that Rosalina fixed it, so now I guess he could. Yes, I guess he'd go back to his own world now.
Yeah, and then the other one is like back in Gateway Galaxy. Ukiki was trying to commit another robbery, but suddenly she's stopped by Princess Daisy.
Oh my god!
And there you go.
they will reveal she is the cousin of Peach and Rosalina.
And Pauline is the sister of Daisy.
Yeah.
If you want to stop a Yuri, stop all the Yuris, I guess. It's the choice of all time.
It sure is.
Yeah, so that was Mario Galaxy, where it's barely Mario or Galaxy.
Yeah, it was a movie called Mario Galaxy, but yeah, she said not much. Yeah, probably not a shock to say I was not really a big fan of this movie.
Yeah,
and I am a massive Mario fan. Like, so this is supposed to be for me with all the deep cut references and all, but nope, I did not gel with it.
I have seen like people saying like, I treated those Sonic movies too harshly.
The Sonic movies like stomp this movie. It's not close.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, it's like I think the concept of like, people say like, oh, why is everybody complaining about references being in the movie when it's like it's a Mario world? Shouldn't these references be like a normal iconography of the movie, that it shouldn't be a reference? That's true, but the problem is like the framing of all these things is meant to, oh, you're supposed to clap for this, and it happens constantly.
Exactly.
To the point where it doesn't feel like any kind of like it doesn't feel like you're trying to make it a world filled with all these things that you're supposed to like understand. It's like, no, you're supposed to clap for the star bits. You're supposed to clap for Ukiki or whatever. Mm-hmm. So there you go. So I mean, let's say from that perspective, but like, from the Sonic movie perspective, I mean, they're not perfect, of course, I think they have a lot of issues for the films, but at the same time, like I think the concept of like trying to get you to care about Tails and Knuckles and then Shadow, and then eventually I'm guessing Amy and Metal Sonic, which I'm hoping Metal Sonic can revive his name, because good fucking lord, this Sega team cannot do that. Anyways, like, but like it's not like bombarding you with like so many things in there, even though they have references too and all that stuff. They still have something to at least digest the story that they're trying to tell, but also like incorporate these references from like the Sonic games and all this stuff. I mean, I think that's just like a normal thing. I mean, it's like it's pretty much following like what cinematic superhero films used to be before they became let's just throw everything, because then it's going to be called Surf Dracula. Yeah, but yeah, that's essentially my thing. I mean, again, it's also entirely possible that we're too old for the movie, so fine.
But are we? Because they put in so many. It's like, yeah, it's a kids movie, but then they put in like so many old references that kids are supposed to be for the older fans. Yeah, so and
like it's also like it's a 40-year-old franchise too. Like in some capacities, like you have to understand that. Like, yeah, I understand that, but like a 40-year-old franchise is gonna have 40 years worth of fans existing, so you can't just act like they don't exist just because it's catered to one group of people or not. And again, like, I mean, if we're being technical, I mean, I can still watch Toy Story 1 and like enjoy it a lot, even at my age. So
yeah,
it's a timeless classic. So
kids movies can appeal to everyone. So we don't have to just be like, oh, it's a kids movie. What do we care? Or it's Mario. What you expected, Citizen Kane? Like, shut up.
It's always Citizen Kane.
Yeah. It didn't have to be like this. It's because they know that Mario's a huge franchise, so yeah, people will show up. We don't even have to try for a story.
And
yeah,
the
but
thing
right-
is, it gets the money, so
yeah,
you can do whatever the fuck you want.
but it's like imagine if there was like just something to latch onto that you could be like, wow, it's like I like seeing the references and I like this story. Like, yeah, because if you don't know Mario, like, what is this? I don't think you're gonna gain like anything from this movie.
Mario, the only thing that he really has for him is like he's dude, bro. I don't mean that literally. He's just a guy.
I know
And
what you
then
mean,
like
it's just-
he wants to be, and then he has a crush on Peach, and I guess she does kiss him in the nose, and all that stuff, and that's about it.
yeah, that's the payoff. Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
payoff.
that's what you can get invested in.
Luigi is like, he's just cool. He's just a good guy. Everybody loves him. He's great, fantastic. He's encouraging his brother to go for Peach, and then he's good friends with Bowser. Feels like he's redeemed himself, even though all of that was off screen.
No, actually, he was wrong. The lesson was yeah, people don't change. Yeah, there will always be. Luigi was wrong, Mario was right.
Yeah. Peach learns that,
She learned she has a sister.
incest is wincest.
No.
Yeah. I mean, Yoshi and Toad are there.
Yes, they are. Yeah, for as much as Yoshi was the big tease at the end of the last movie, his role is basically inconsequential here.
Yeah.
He is just there.
Yeah. And like, Rosalina, I truly cannot fathom, because this is Universal's second time doing this with Brie Larson, putting her in the marketing so fucking much, and Fast 10, and she was barely in both these movies.
Great, thanks. And yeah, she was a big fan. She was probably so excited to be Rosalina. And they put her in all the
marketing. They always put her versus everybody else in the cast to do like the Mario quizzes, because they know that she's going to cook everybody.
Mm-hmm. And I said, "Oh, sorry, Fox gets a bigger role than you."
It was
like, said, well, it's okay. She didn't have that much to do in the game. Oh yeah. Remember when Star Fox was just Mario Galaxy?
Yeah. Nah, then what's it called? Like, and then they love to repeat that story now, because like this is something she said back like years ago, but like it was a very common talking point, because it's still kind of crazy. Yeah, like she literally, her boyfriend literally dumped her because she was a massive Galaxy fan and was spending way too much time on it. So it's that easy for some people, I guess.
Yeah.
I think I think she was saying like it was like, I think in Galaxy they have like the extra mode where like it's like the hardest, one of the hardest modes ever or something in the Mario games.
Or
is that one? Galaxy 2?
Galaxy 2 has Galaxy 2 has the very last level is a really, really hard challenge. It's
I know. I think there's like an impossible. It's like an impossible mode or something.
One life. It's not a full mode. It's an extra final level where it's you go through a whole like over 10-minute gauntlet, and you have a one health, so you can't get hit at all.
Yeah, she said that's why it was like taking up a lot, but I still think the guy is stupid. So,
the guy is very stupid.
Yeah, so that was basically it. I guess I can read a little bit of the production stuff. In May 2021, Nintendo present Furukawa said that Nintendo would be interested in producing more animated films based on its intellectual properties if the first Mario film was successful. The post-credit scenes hinted at a potential sequel featuring Mario's dinosaur steed, Yoshi. Jack Black expressed Pedro Pascal to be Mario's arch rival Wario. Good luck with that. Everybody wants Danny DeVito.
I guess it's movie 3, which what could they do for Mario 3? Because we've gone all the way up to Wonder, which is like the latest game, so like as of now.
Yeah. And they've done so many Odyssey references already.
Yes, yeah. So if you make a Mario Odyssey movie, it's like, yeah, I guess we have Cappy in the ship, but we already have all these Odyssey references, like
So we have to expect that Daisy gets
that Bowser Jr. paints.
We have to expect
that Bowser Jr. paints is from Odyssey. Sorry,
yeah. We have to expect that Daisy gets nothing.
Yeah, if it follows the same pattern.
Daisy's sister is Pauline. So there's that. But Daisy has not been in an official game though, right? Except for Wonder.
The two mainline games she's been in are Land and Wonder. Yeah.
Land of Wonder. Okay.
Yeah, she was introduced to Mario Land as who you rescue instead of Peach for some reason. I don't know why, because they want to do like a whole different kingdom there. And then in Mario Wonder, she's a playable character.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like mostly spinoffs. I mean, I'm sure the Wario and Waluigi will get added.
You know, I guess they could make it Mario Land because that didn't get much reference in these movies.
Yeah, but at the same time, the real question is who's the next character to steal most of the time?
Yeah,
it's got to be Captain Falcon. It's got to be Captain Falcon. And then they're going to repeat Falcon Punch all the time.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so in April 2023, following the box office success, Nintendo stated that there would be more films based on their properties, though they did not confirm a Mario sequel at that time. In June 2023, Chris Pratt said the sequel would be announced soon, but because of the 2023 strike, it would affect the production. In December, Jack Black expressed interest in having a musical titled Bowser's Revenge. Okay. March 2024, during Mario Day's presentation, Meledandri and the Mario creator Miyamoto confirmed development of a new Mario film with these guys to return directing and Fogel to return for writing the screenplay. Meledandri said that the Illumination team were in the process of storyboarding and developing set designs for new environments. Keegan-Michael Key said that the sequel will be broader in scope for new folks and old favorites, and some folks he thinks are going to be really deep cuts. Then producer Chris Meledandri said that while the games Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 were core inspirations, it would include surprises for fans of every Mario era.
Yeah, they weren't wrong.
Okay, castings, that's pretty obvious. I'm kind of okay, so I guess this part is interesting. Days ahead of the release on March 27th, 2026, Glenn Powell was revealed to join the cast as Star Fox protagonist Fox McCloud. Powell and Glover both pitched themselves for their parts after the first film was released. Interesting. So they're saying like Glenn came to Nintendo or came to Illumination saying he wants to be Fox. And I guess I don't know if that means like they forced putting Fox into the movie because of that. Being in a Star Fox movie was a dream Powell had, and Glover always wanted to be in a Nintendo film. So then the CEO of Illumination contacted both of them back because of that. So it kind of sounds like
Mm.
it was added because he said so, because somebody said so. I guess we technically own, you know, Nintendo stuff. Let's just
Yeah, it was
do it.
like, yeah, there was nothing saying we couldn't do it, so we did. They were so preoccupied with whether they could do it, they didn't stop to think if they should do it.
Yeah. The Rotten Tomatoes is at 43%. It's packed with colorful world building that's as frantic as weightless as the Mario Galaxy movies. Visuals are often out of this world, and but a threadbare story ultimately loses its Milky Way. Metacritic gave it a 37 out of 100 based on 45 critics. It's generally unfavorable reviews. The audience cinema score gave it A minus, down from the first film's A, while those post-track surveyed, 79% of the audience gave a positive review, 62 saying they would definitely recommend it.
What was the score?
A minus versus a
Metacritic. Okay,
Metacritic gave it a 37.
I get you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Metacritic gave it a 37 out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn Garner of Deadline Hollywood gave the film a positive review, writing, "The Galaxy movie was a fun sequel full of nostalgic references, all-star voices, and epic animations grounded by the father-son story of redemption for Bowser and sisterly origin story for Princess Peach, both of which pave way for more video game adaptations fun."
What do they mean, the story of redemption? He doesn't get redeemed.
He's redeemed off screen.
Oh, how he's redeemed at the beginning, but then gets unredeemed.
While also praising the voice performances of Donald Glover and Glenn Powell, Barry Hertz of the Globe and Mail states, whereas a cosmic beast like Cthulhu or Azathoth at least possesses all-knowing knowledge in addition to their sanity-breaking power of terror, a horror like the Super Mario Galaxy movie retains no vaguely redeeming qualities.
Damn.
In a 1.5 out of 4 review, Eli Friedberg of Slant Magazine said it was an unpretentiously vapid cocktail of big-budget technical mastery and lack of artistic ambition. The visual language is divorced from reality and referring to the games. Even Looney Tunes action is grounded in the real world. It's better to subvert it, I guess. That's a strange comparison.
That's a weird quote. Yeah.
Tara Brady of the Irish Times said that the dynamic between Bowser and his son and the Frozen-like sisterhood between Peach and Rosalina, Jesus fucking Christ, are jettisoned as quickly as they are introduced. Subplots remain half-formed. New additions, especially Glenn Powell's inexplicably underused Fox McCloud, barely registered. The abrupt conclusion feels like an abandonment. At least it's short. God. Frozen like sisterly bond. God. William Bibany of the Warp of the Rap said, so lacking in substance and purpose at that after a while you can't even hear a dialogue over the insistent sound of Aristotle's ghost punching himself. Kevin Maher gave the film a 0 out of 5 on the Times, saying it was provoked periods of actual physical discomfort. I had to stab myself repeatedly in the head with a pen to distract from the howling distress.
God damn.
One more paragraph. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian gave the Super Mario Galaxy 1 out of 5, calling it bland screensaver of a movie that's actually worse than AI. And an inert and uninteresting follow-up. Owen Gleiberman of Variety, who praised the previous film, called it a frantic and disappointing sequel, while also stating it's almost like these talented artists have been body snatched. Clint Worthington of RogerEbert.com gave it a 1.5 out of 4, writing, "This is not a movie to be scrutinized, but to allow beleaguered elder millennial dads to sit their tots down for precious 2 hours, if you can count the trailers." and get some much needed rest. Wilson Chapman of IndieWire gave the Mario Galaxy movie a C-, saying that the video game is filled with moments of euphoric joy. The film registers flat as imagination, packed into the most cleanly corporate and focus grouped approved form possible. In Screen Daily, Tim Grierson wrote that it had strained humor and cluttered action sequences. Too often, this Illumination production mistakes visual and narrative busyness for genuine excitement. Clarice Lowry, The Independent, gave the film 2 out of 5, calling it a joke-free sequel that doubles down on its own blandness. Andres Lukowski of Time Out gave it a 3 out of 5, saying it was not deep, but it is made with love and hits the spot. That's the last one.
Yep. There have been some crazy responses to this film. But regardless, it is making a lot of money.
Yeah, it'll get to $1 billion soon.
Yep. Just a matter of when.
All right, Sty.
Oh, what?
You want to talk about the film?
Oh, I think you guys already talked about it plenty. I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
So anything else, Bagel?
It's just, it didn't have to be like this, but just we got heads.
So I guess like
just
so you guys are more Mario fans than I am. But what would you say that Mario? I know it's like I'm not asking like how would you write a Mario movie? That's a different conversation. But like I know like one of the struggles that people seem to have with Mario in general is like, the fact that it's a platformer kind of game. How do you make use of that, but in a storytelling format? Or what do people get wrong about Mario in general? That it could not lend itself to like a movie format.
Well, I mean, if we can make a movie out of Legos and have it be so meaningful, we can do it with Mario. It's like, I don't know, people say they like it, but I don't think they really, what'd you say? I don't know if they respect it. If they just think that, well, it's a silly platform game. Yeah, you think there's a lot of story potential there? But because the game Mario Galaxy game, it's not the traditional narrative of long of much dialogue and scenes. Though there's some, of course, but like even still with its I'll say untraditional narrative, it's still manages to get across like so much meaning, and with its themes, like even though the backstory of one of the main characters is entirely optional, they still like went through the effort to do it. They and put in like this the story about loss and grief and found family. That again it's in this game for for kids. So I don't know, to say that there is really nothing you could draw from to make a movie. I don't know exactly how I would do it, because I'm not a movie writer. I don't even pretend to be that I could like write a coherent script. But yeah, it's just but yeah, I see no reason why it couldn't be done. And again, like you were talking about Sonic before, the Sonic has become in some circles at least like almost a joke, but they the movies aren't they're not perfect, but they give like at least something for people to latch on to, even those who aren't fans of the games. I would say there's like at least you like follow the characters and all. So yeah, that's my piece. it didn't have to be like this.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, as a Sonic fan mainly, I know, like, it's also a platformer as well, or at least, but like in that context, like as a platformer, it also was like Sonic was always like doing some. It was like kind of like something you didn't expect. Like, not only is it a platformer game, but he's also like a fast character as well, which was like kind of uncommon to think about. And then like you also see like from each game to game, like you see the progression of like how his move sets or like the characters that are being added around him and all that stuff goes on. And then you see like the ambitiousness that they go with, like going from into 3D with Adventure 1 and then Adventure 2. And you have like obviously a really big swing on 06 for its 15th anniversary, but like how much of that fell because of the obvious things. But like you can see, like, I mean, with Sonic, like from what I understand at least, it's like it had like a lot of things that you can find in its story or like with its characters or like but there's also like a good portion of people that don't really care about any of that and they just only cared about like the gameplay aspect or like when it was 2D or something like that. So obviously, like, I know Mario kind of had its own thing too. Like after like a few 3D games, like they wanted to go back, and then you have like New Super Mario Bros. For example, back on the DS.
Yeah, a lot of people say like I kind of agree with this. Like there was that kind of period where the games got a little bit stale. It was like just like you said, Sonic was very innovative with each new edition. Mario was that too mostly until mid like the mid 2010s or so is when they kind of stagnated. Every game was just like doing the same things over and over. But they've since learned.
Yeah. I think like the other thing too is like I know with Sonic in particular, like one of the main things is like I always found it weird when like people went after like the side characters in particular. Because like I do understand like they have an extensive cast in general. I think both of them have an extensive cast in general. But like I think like with Sonic, I think one of the weird criticisms is like that having that extensive cast is like a bad thing, or like lending itself to like different type of game styles could not be interesting. And it's like, or like there's nothing you could do with those kinds of things. I know it's like they're not like as fast as Sonic, but I'm sure there's like other cool things you could do with like these kinds of game styles. Like with, I feel like Mario, from what I understand, is like I think that they've been more open to like embracing the side characters here and there. I mean, they've had like spin-offs like with well, one, they have more access to spin-offs in general compared to like Sonic, except for like their racing game at this point, or like they used to have free riders until like, you know, they botched that. But like with like Mario, you had like these other spin-off games, like obviously Mario Kart is like the biggest thing ever. And even their sports line as well. But they also had like stuff like with Peach, and they had like Captain Toad, Luigi's Mansion, obviously.
Wario has two of his own series.
Wario has his like home franchise of his own. Yeah,
he has Wario.
They really need to bring back Captain Syrup. Yeah. So I don't know. It's like I felt like when it came to like the side characters, at least, I feel like Mario was a lot more respectful.
The Yoshi and Donkey Kong games, of course.
Yoshi and Donkey Kong games. Bowser's had some stuff. The RPGs, and all that stuff. And honestly, that's also the other thing too. Is like people have. I think that's like the biggest example that people say. I think that's the biggest like counter that people say about Mario in general. It's like, oh, you can't make a movie about a platformer. You know, the RPGs are like kind of like the biggest example of like them telling a story of like these characters. Essentially, they might not be exactly like their original game counterparts, but like they're still telling a story that's engaging for a lot of people. I think the 10,000 Year Door or something. That's what it's called.
Paper Mario 1,000 Door, yes.
1,000 Door. Yeah, so it's like I know that people really love that game, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, if they want to, if they want to go balls to the wall, I mean, they could kind of go through the Paper Mario route, which would kind of be cheating, but at that point. But like, I from that example, it's like it kind of does show like Mario is capable of having that if you give it that. I don't know. It's just it's just easy to point, clap, all the references.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's easy to do it. So yeah, that's all we have to do. People know Mario; they'll come see it. We don't have to try.
Maybe I. Oh, pardon me. It was.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should say something about the movie, or I probably.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So, for reference, I had the displeasure of seeing the Borderlands movie back when it was still in its theatrical run. At the time, I thought nothing could possibly be worse than it, but this movie made it look piss easy. I don't know why so many people think it's a nothing movie. I wish it was a nothing movie because that would be better than what it was. Everyone is either damaged or downright stupid during the whole run time, and there's just so much that's horribly wrong with it. For example, Rosalina never at any point tried to look for Peach ever, even
Despite
though
keeping tabs on her. Yeah.
her to the Lumas every night.
She supposedly knows everything about her, but never
for her to visit, for her to go visit her. But no, that would make too much sense. And this is a Mario movie. It's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to be bad because for some reason both the people responsible for this movie and the fan base surrounding it think the games are bad, which means this movie is good. How's that work?
He's the
Not
mustache
really. How's
Trump
that
man.
work? It's so. Oh my god, I cannot stress this enough. This the best thing I can say about this movie is that it's better than Arcane Season 2. But then again, everything is better than Arcane Season 2. It's just a terrible movie. If I much as I would love to go into greater detail, if I did, this episode would be another 3 hours at the very least. So I will maybe leave it at that for now.
Yes. So you're a really big fan of it, is what you were saying.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
No, but yeah, you're right. Like when people are like, defending this movie, it's like, we have to like put down the source material. Yeah, it's a Mario Galaxy movie. What'd you expect? Yeah, it's infuriating.
Yeah, it promises to do something with Bowser before dropping it near the end of the movie. There's
like how he dropped into the
reason,
lava.
For some reason, Luigi is, fuck it. The coin has been put in the jukebox. The song has to play for a little while. So let's just do this. So there's the God. There for some reason, Luigi is trying to be friends with Bowser, even though he's been the most in danger from him in the first movie, and he tried to torture him for information. He didn't do it much, but he promised to do even worse the longer it went on, and was ready to drop him into lava very, very slowly and nearly burned him to death at the end of the first movie. And he's proven to be the least brave of the two brothers. You'd think he'd you'd think he'd want to avoid Bowser at any cost, but
I
no.
guess he's just a very forgiving guy.
But the book club.
Yeah, they had a
club.
book club and everything was forgiven.
Luigi's a bro.
And you'd think
Oh,
he'd
we forgot to reference the Luigi Final Smash knee kick from the Super Smash. When he knees up.
Oh yeah, they
when
say
he knees
that
Bowser
he did
Jr.
it.
in the face.
Yeah, they say it
remember that
looks like
in-
he did.
Oh, that was Captain Falcon's forward air.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, the forward knee, and people say it. That's it looks like what Luigi does to Bowser Jr.
Oh wait, I forgot. Luigi's the one who does like the headbutt thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he does. He charges
As one of his.
up and goes. It's like a missile.
That's
They reference the Peach move, and she does that with her Peach.
of course. Plus, as much as I, God dang it, I forgot. Again, you guys might have to stop me from keeping it up because if I do, like I said, this might last forever. But to put it simply, there's a lot more.
So yeah.
Go ahead.
I guess like what I was asking Bagel as well. I was wondering if you had like an insight, since you are more of a Mario fan. What do you think people get wrong? Like Mario's not just a jump man, so that means there's nothing to do with him. Because like I mean, we were talking. I was like saying like how I'm pretty sure the RPGs kind of like at least explore storytelling level kinds of stories with Paper Mario at the very least. And I know people really like those games, so I'm sure like there's something for people to latch on to. If you would think like if people are looking at how to make a Mario movie and they're kind of getting it wrong.
Bagel, you there?
There. Yeah, he's
for-
asking you, my dude.
Oh, what?
He
was
was
for-
asking.
Yeah, I asked Bagel earlier. I was wondering if you had anything.
Oh,
Sty.
oh, my bad. It sounded like the question was directed at him.
Oh yeah.
But the thing they get, the main thing they get wrong is that they believe that anything Mario related should necessarily be the few things they remember about the older games that they've played, and that's it. And that's why the target audience for this movie is people who will implode if the movie is anything other than a really bad movie that references a bunch of Nintendo stuff.
Mm. So yeah, I saw like somebody saying that the plot point of like a princess being captured that the person has to go and save, like that's kind of similar to Star Fox Adventure, like when Crystal is in prison and it requires Fox to save them, bringing them onto like a dinosaur planet. But the difference is like Crystal was in prison, and that was like I think it was her first game or something like that. So that's why it's a little bit different. Whereas like with doing this with Rosalina is like, it's Rosalina.
There's a long established character, like it. I mean, yeah, it's like they did her dirty.
Yeah.
I was about to make a joke that I probably shouldn't say while the stream's still running. After what you said. You probably know what it was going to be.
Yeah. Crystal too. I mean, what? Anyways, I just find it kind of funny. So Mario 3, I'm sure Captain Falcon will be there to be the next reference character.
And then they'll do the Smash movie after Mario 3.
Berta will be a part of the team despite not having any kind of arc at all. Yeah.
And I guess again following the pattern from last one, I guess Daisy will be there.
Yeah. Then Daisy and Polly will be sisters.
Yeah.
But yeah, that honestly, these are the only two things that people were talking about a lot in terms of the movie. It's like pretty much just the Peachalina, and then the Fox getting more screen time than
Yeah,
that's pretty much all people talk about.
Discourse I've seen. Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see that semi-viral clip that someone shared of the Loom saying, "I finally found you," but in a way that sounds like he's saying something else?
I don't think I have.
I have to share it with you guys someday. It's so funny.
I just saw it earlier today. So
he says he's supposed to say, "I finally found you," but the audio messes up so badly that he said sounds like he's saying, "I fuckingly found you."
Oh no!
I'm not kidding.
Oh.
I was caught.
No, Luma, stop! That's not
in the theater when I heard that. I looked around because I thought other people would pay attention to that, but no. Apparently, I was the only one who noticed that
if it was like my theater, half the audience was asleep.
Rated E for everyone rule.
Yeah, sure.
This is the second time in a row that I've seen a movie character say something unspeakable in either a movie or a game. First time being Darth Vader in Fortnite. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the AI.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So it is weird that this whole thing is just to be a backdoor pitch for Star Fox having his own game. That watch them say like, "Oh, it's actually canon to the Mario movies." So now the Mario movies are canon to the games.
No, don't.
That's also
keel over.
What?
No, it's not. It's just I'm just joking. Hopefully.
I nearly forgot to mention. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying like, cause like with Star Fox, because they said Star Fox is in this movie because he's going to have his own game coming soon. So then I was just making the joke because like at the end of the movie, he's allowed to go back home. So like, what if Star Fox just references, "Yeah, I was in this other universe," and then you have that whole question: is the Mario movies canon to the games? Because that's kind of what. That's kind of what shows and movies have been doing lately.
Yeah, the thing is, there hasn't been a Star Fox game in like 10 years. So imagine like just like now, a kid would be like, "Wow, that's so cool! I want to play Star Fox. Oh, hope you have a Wii U."
It's
funny. Nintendo does better though, like with converting to the newer systems though.
Yeah, kinda. They used to have like the whole virtual console library. Now, yeah, they have like they have Switch Online, if you can play old SNES and NES games if you're subscribed to their service.
Jokes on them. I can do that without paying money. I won't say how.
Ooh.
I just
Oh. No, I would never do something like that ever. No, 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 no,
I
no,
say
no.
I can doesn't necessarily mean that I will.
Mhm.
Not, because that would be piracy, and we are vehemently against that here.
Of course, of course.
I thought you said Weast.
You know what's funny? I recently discovered this. Apparently, there was an unreleased Jack Black song that was intended for the Mario Galaxy movie.
Oh, right,
I
yeah.
thought there once was a man named Mario or something like that. But
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I
thank
heard it.
Christ it wasn't in the movie.
They did have Bowser in the mines though, because he was yearning for them.
Yeah.
Of course he was.
I was a child.
And
I yearned for the mines.
Yep. And he apparently, when he breathes fire because his mouth creates flint and steel.
Mm-hmm.
Flint and steel.
Yeah, I can't wait for Minecraft
Yeah.
too. That's going to be pure cinema.
Of course. It absolutely will.
It doesn't have Emma Myers though, so it's gonna flop.
We traded Emma for
Not
Kirsten
in it?
Dunst.
That is true.
Soul for a soul.
Did they say that she's not in it?
It's because she's filming like two things at the same time. So
Wednesday
She
and
won't be able to-
the
Good Girl Scout.
other
Emerger.
series. I don't remember that one.
Oh, she's also doing Angry Birds, but that's like a voice role.
Oh,
I see.
But yeah. So any predictions what Super Mario 3 could take from Sty? That's
No,
the other thing
no.
we were talking about.
No, because
Because Bagel was saying like they already put like Wonder references in this movie itself already, so they already kind of caught up with everything, technically speaking.
if there was a Wonder reference in this movie, I didn't notice it.
I think it was
it's,
just the drill.
Some of the power ups and Bowser Jr. becomes his Wonder form, like when he's all purple. That's what he does then. Mario Wonder.
I see.
Maybe they could do, I guess a spin-offs, but that would require like
Thinking about
like
them.
like a Mario and Luigi or Paper Mario movie, but I mean, you want to adapt those, you got to put a lot more effort. Well, I mean, you already got to put effort into that adapt Galaxy, and they didn't, so they probably wouldn't do that with that either. And it would still make $1 million billion.
That's actually the craziest thing to me, because like I know Galaxy is like super popular, so the fact that like they used Galaxy as like a set dressing is like kind of crazy. Like at the very least, I would have thought they would try like maybe 50% of effort, but they didn't try at all. Like they had one launch star, they had like one reference about like the circling around the planet gravity thing, using Peach and Toad, and then they had like Rosalina be captured for most of the movie, and the pretty colorful Lumas are there, the star bits are there. That's about it, really. And then that shot,
I guess,
the shot of
3
like,
locations
them-
from Galaxy. They have the Comet Observatory, Honey Hive, and what they call Gateway Galaxy, even though it's nothing like Gateway Galaxy in the game.
yeah. Gateway Galaxy is kind of like a citadel, basically.
It's a big
Rob.
hub for references. I mean, people to travel across the universe in the movie, which in the game, it's Rosalina's like home planet.
Yeah, I'm sure Wario will be in the next one though, because people have been wanting Wario. They're gonna make people clap. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yep. And you can guarantee they're gonna do another deliberate meme casting for him and Daisy, because you, you can't say they don't know about the the memes about the casting for the first movie, because with this movie everyone they selected was was clearly meant to give a good hard laugh from people who are like, wait, really? Why are you casting him or her as this character?
To be fair, Bria's Rosalina is like, you can't really do better than that, I think.
Chris, memorably voiced by Chris Pratt. He's so cool.
And even the one casting choice that didn't get people to laugh their asses off in the first movie, Anya Taylor-Joy, unfortunately didn't do a good job as Peach. A lot of the line delivery was very much suggested that she didn't want to be there. And judging by what I've heard her say about it, she didn't want to be there. Which I don't know. I don't know why she did it. Then her
easy bag
was to film Nosferatu with Robert Eggers. In fact, the reason she wasn't in that movie was because she picked this one.
All right, that is true.
I guess it was, you get that bag.
Yeah. I think she, I think like the main thing with Peach in general, I mean, like, I do, because I know that was like a talking point when she said, like, when she was first doing like the voice acting, like she like threw up and all that stuff. And that is something that like voice actors have talked about, even professional ones have talked about, like the amount of strain that goes into your voice. Because you kind of have to like project your voice a lot more louder and more open than like normal voice acting when you're like on like a stage set, for example. So it's like that kind of like difference between the two mediums is like kind of like where it takes a bit out of the uncomfortability for some people. So
begs the question of why they chose to do a meme casting instead of casting people who are more qualified and more familiar with the source material, or heaven forbid they cast the actors from the games. But no, that would make
we gotta get the big names. Remember that one Sonic 2 review that said it was like childish because they got the voice actor for Tales from the game, from the movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
For real?
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
People just don't don't take it like seriously, so they have to do the big names, I guess.
I mean, at the same time, like, I'm not gonna say that Anya doesn't. I'm not gonna say that Anya doesn't care. I mean, when she does go to the red carpet, she does like, she is like in the spirit of Peach, like wherever she goes and all that. So, I think she does care about the role. I just think the main thing with Peach in general is like, I guess a game, if you compare game wise and then the movie wise, it is like not really trying to put any other voice outside of her own, which, I mean, to be fair, I like Anya's voice, so I have a bias there. But at the same time, I do understand, like, Peach does have a pretty distinct, like, high pitch kind of voice, so it is kind of strange if like there isn't an effort to do that. I mean, then that kind of makes her sound more like girl, and that's not really great either. I know Brie Larson has voice acting experience, but like she was just barely in this movie, so it's not really much to say. But I mean, she does sound like royalty, so there's that.
true. How true.
But yeah. Yeah, so
sorry.
Peach, Pauline, Rosalina, and Daisy, they're all sisters and cousins. Make it
No,
happen.
no.
Captain Falcon shows up to take up a third of the movie. Every character glazes him saying Falcon Punch to do the thing.
You can bet they're gonna do a super duper meme casting for him, like Jim Carrey or Tom Cruise or their Illumination. You can bet maybe it'll be Aquafina. At this point, why not?
She'll be Daisy.
Oh, of course.
Right? They didn't give Daisy a voice, right?
Yeah, no, she doesn't say anything.
Okay.
Like it's like Amy in Sonic 3. It's just she's
Amy in Sonic 3. Smiles.
Yeah.
We're getting those two movies. Oh, pardon me? Oh, pardon me, you were saying?
Yeah, I think Sonic 4 will be okay, but that's until 2027. I'm just the only thing I can really say about Mario versus Sonic in this aspect is like, yeah, I mean, at least the Sonic movies like take elements of the story, but like they also take their time with what they're trying to do while trying to convey it in their own story set in the real world, that kind of thing, which I know these things can be kind of annoying for people. I do understand that perspective completely. But, I mean, but I also think like there is an importance for like being able to digest the story that you're trying to tell and all that stuff. Because like, for example, I know people have been saying like, I prefer the Sonic 2 like wedding subplot way more than the baby Yoshi island thing. Because at the very least, like that
wedding subplot. Oh boy.
God, the wedding subplot was abysmal.
No, it is. But like the reason why like people prefer it is just like at least like it's funnier than the Yoshi Island thing. But it's also like Sonic was knocked out, so they kind of already had like the BS going on with the wedding anyway. So it's like just fucking do it. And it's like they go balls to the wall, like where the guy literally opens the Bible and he pulls out a gun. like it's really funny. So yeah, I just like, so yeah, but for like the Yoshi Baby Island thing, it's like it just didn't really serve any purpose at all, like except for just having that Yoshi's Island reference and that Odyssey reference with the T-Rex and all that stuff, and that's about it. And then it's done in like 7 minutes, and then go off to the next part. I don't know. It's just like it's really goofy.
Sure is, yeah.
And also, yeah, I mean, and like the general things about like Sonic is like, I know, which to be fair, I mean, there are a lot of things that people don't like about Sonic and in the movie, and I think that's completely fair because he is a kid who is growing up essentially, and that's kind of not who Sonic is. But it kind of lends itself for at least an arc, or at least to grow other characters with him, so you can at least feel that. Whereas like with Mario, he's just there. He's just kind of good at what he does. He's the guy from Brooklyn, but then he's just a regular Super Mario, I suppose. So that's cool. But he doesn't really go through anything. He doesn't really change it at all. So it's just not really much.
Into a baby.
He does change into a baby. But yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts on the Mario movie. Yeah. 4-way incest. Make it happen. That concludes my thoughts. Anything from you guys before we call it a day.
I think I pretty much said my thoughts earlier as well. Just, yeah, it's just disappointing as a Mario fan that this is basically what we get.
This is also all you get for your 40th anniversary, too. That's the crazy part.
Yep. Yeah, this is the main
Just-
celebration for this 40th anniversary.
Yeah, just this movie.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Sty?
Oh yeah. If that were how, if I were Mario and that was how and this is how someone wanted to celebrate my 40th anniversary, I wouldn't want to live anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, way too many people do not share that sentiment on the internet. In fact, quite the opposite.
600
worry,
plus
they'll come
million
around.
dollars.
They'll come around when people inevitably feel about Nintendo the way they currently feel about Disney. It'll take forever, but someday.
So we shall see.
All right. Well, thanks for watching another Reviews Core podcast. This was episode 93. Thanks for coming, Bagel, Sty, to talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Yep.
Where is the Mario
Yes.
Galaxy?
Thanks for having me.
And I hope to see you guys soon. I know Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is airing right now.
No,
We're definitely going to
that's
talk
what
about it
happened.
at some point. So
Oh,
we'll
it's
save that
so
discussion
bad.
for another. We'll save that discussion for another day when the show ends. And I know there's a lot of other stuff coming out too. So I don't know when. Our schedule has not been very consistent for the podcast. I do apologize for that. But kind of at this point, because Unity and I are both working, it's kind of dependent on whatever we want to talk about at this point. So it just is what it is. I'm hoping to get some more content out on my channel, and be more active there. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to another Reviews Core podcast, subscribe to Unity Reviews and Analysis. All the links are in the description down below. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
So long.
Goodbye.
Play Mario Galaxy. It's a great game. And the second one.